Anna was changing. Her eyes, once bright and full of life, now held a distant, unsettling gaze. Her laughter, once a familiar melody in the village of Quaringer, was replaced by guttural growls and chilling shrieks. The once vibrant young girl was now a shadow of her former self, consumed by a darkness that none could comprehend. The transformation began subtly, a sudden aversion to sunlight, an unnatural stillness in her demeanor, hushed whispers of conversations with unseen entities. These unsettling occurrences were initially dismissed as mere childish whims, but as days turned into weeks, fear began to weave its icy tendrils around the hearts of the villagers. Anna's condition worsened with alarming rapidity. Her once graceful movements became jerky and erratic, her speech a disjointed torrent of unintelligible utterances. Her nights were plagued by violent convulsions and terrifying episodes of speaking in tongues. The villagers watched in horrified fascination as the darkness tightened its grip on Anna, twisting her into something unrecognizable. Fear, like a virulent contagion, swept through Quaringer. Whispers of demonic possession spread from house to house, carried on the wind that seemed to moan with an eerie premonition. The villagers, once a close-knit community, now eyed each other with suspicion and trepidation. The once familiar lanes and pathways of the village were now shrouded in an unsettling silence, punctuated only by the rustle of leaves and the distant howling of dogs. The village elders, steeped in the folklore and superstitions of generations past, declared Anna's affliction a case of demonic possession. They spoke of ancient curses and malevolent spirits, their voices laced with fear and resignation. The villagers, their beliefs deeply rooted in the supernatural, readily accepted this grim diagnosis. Their fear was palpable, a suffocating blanket that enveloped Quaringer. The villagers, desperate for a solution, turned to Father Michael, the village priest. His face, etched with concern and a hint of trepidation, reflected the gravity of the situation. He listened intently to the villagers' accounts, his brow furrowed in deep thought. After much deliberation, he announced his decision. An exorcism was the only way to save Anna and restore peace to the village. The exorcism was a spectacle that would forever be etched in the memories of the villagers of Quaringer. A makeshift altar was erected within the stone walls of the village church, illuminated by flickering candlelight that cast long dancing shadows across the room. The air was thick with incense and the murmur of prayers as villagers huddled together, their faces a tapestry of fear and fervent hope. Father Michael, his face pale but resolute, stood before the possessed girl. His voice, amplified by the cavernous space, resonated with an authority that belied the fear that gnawed at his heart. He began the ancient rites, his words a weapon against the unseen forces that held Anna captive. The villagers watched, their breath held captive in their chests, as the exorcism unfolded. Anna, her body contorted in unnatural positions, fought against the priest's efforts. Her screams, filled with rage and anguish, echoed through the church, sending chills down the spines of the onlookers. The air crackled with tension, the battle between good and evil unfolding before their very eyes. The exorcism continued late into the night, a desperate struggle for Anna's soul. As dawn broke, casting a pale light over Quaringer, an eerie silence descended upon the village. The villagers, exhausted and emotionally drained, emerged from the church, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and lingering trepidation. Anna, now freed from the grip of the unseen forces, lay pale and weak in Father Michael's arms. Her eyes, though still holding a trace of the darkness that had consumed her, now flickered with a glimmer of her former self. The villagers, though relieved by Anna's apparent liberation, couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling that lingered in the air. The events of the night had shaken them to their core, leaving an indelible mark on their collective psyche. The whispers of demonic possession, once hushed and fearful, now carried a note of hesitant belief, a chilling reminder of the darkness that had threatened to consume their village. Life in Quaringer slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy, but the shadow of Anna's possession cast a long shadow over the village. The villagers, forever marked by the events they had witnessed, treated Anna with a mixture of sympathy and apprehension, their gazes lingering a moment too long, their smiles tinged with a hint of unease. Despite the apparent success of the exorcism, questions lingered in the minds of the villagers. Whispers of doubt carried on the wind that swept through Quaringer. Was Anna truly possessed by demonic forces, Or was her affliction a manifestation of something else entirely? Was it a form of madness, a desperate cry for attention, or a cunning act of deception? The villagers, their minds grappling with the unexplainable, oscillated between belief and skepticism. Some clung to the certainty of demonic possession, finding solace in the familiar narratives of their faith. Others, haunted by the inconsistencies and the lack of definitive proof, questioned the events they had witnessed. They searched for explanations rooted in the realm of the rationale, struggling to reconcile the inexplicable with the world they thought they knew. The truth of Anna's possession remained elusive, lost in the labyrinth of speculation and doubt. The events of that fateful night became a chilling tale whispered by the fireplace, a cautionary reminder of the darkness that could lurk beneath the surface of their seemingly idyllic world. And so, the village of Quaringer carried on, forever marked by the terrifying tale of the possessed girl, the mystery of her affliction forever etched in their collective memory.